Ladies and gentlemen, politics is a very interesting game. And politics is also a very dirty game. A few days ago, Aisha Jumwa, who is a former member of parliament for Malindi, a former close ally of Raila Odinga, who is currently serving in William Ruto's government as a cabinet secretary, met with Raila Odinga in Nairobi. In this video, I want us to look at some emerging issues from that meeting. And just like I keep on telling you on this platform, in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence. Everything in politics is normally well planned, well scripted, and executed to achieve a specific political objective. Nothing just happened for the sake of it. There is no way Aisha Jumwa, who is a cabinet secretary in William Ruto's government, can just walk from her office to go and meet Raila Odinga in his office without an objective. I want you guys to listen to this clip very shortly, but pay very close attention to what Aisha Jumwa is trying to say.
Being one of the leaders whom we trust in this country, and his contribution to this journey, we are happy that he has given us opportunity. Tumeongea na yeye pia ana yale ya kuwaelezea. Yes.
Mimi nimekaribisha wakilishi wa kina mama ambao wamekuja siku ya leo kuniletea ripoti. Hao mama wanawakilisha wamama wengine, mamilioni wa mama wa Kenya hii. Sisi tumetoka mbali na hii agenda ya kina mama. Hii agenda ilikuwa na pingo vikali sana kwa kule Bomas of Kenya. Sasa tumesema ripoti ya NADCO iko mbele ya bunge. Na tunataka hii ripoti ya kina mama iwekwe pamoja na ile ya NADCO.
Yes.
Ili pitishwe pamoja. Hiyo mimi vile nitapeleka pendekezo hiyo kwa Bwana Ruto.
Yes.
Wakati tutakapokabidhiwa hiyo ripoti ya NADCO ikiwe pamoja na hii iende sambamba. Asanteni sana.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Tukai. Aye.
If you paid very close attention to what Aisha Jumwa is trying to say in that clip, you'll notice that Aisha Jumwa is referring to Raila Odinga as trusted. He's also thanking Raila Odinga for his contribution. And Aisha Jumwa is also happy, again thanking Raila Odinga for being given opportunity to meet with Raila Odinga. The truth of the matter is that there is no way Aisha Jumwa, who is a cabinet secretary, can just go and meet with Raila Odinga. I also noted three things during that meeting. The first thing I noted was that this meeting did not take place at a central place. The meeting took place at Raila Odinga's office in Capitol Hill. That's significant. Why do you think Aisha Jumwa opted to meet Raila Odinga in his office and not any other place? Because in an ordinary circumstance, Aisha Jumwa would have convened this meeting, let's say in Serena, some conference room there, then met with Raila Odinga there, and of course they would have still discussed the same issues, but she decided to go to Raila Odinga's office. The second thing which I also noted was that on the day this meeting was taking place, William Ruto was in Homa Bay. What a coincidence that William Ruto was in Raila Odinga's home ground or stronghold of Homa Bay, while Aisha Jumwa is meeting with Raila Odinga in Capitol Hill. The third thing that is also clear is that this meeting came just a few days after Raila and Ruto had met with Museveni in Uganda. So what was the objective of that particular meeting? That's exactly what I want us to look into this video. Before we do that, let me just begin by going through Raila Odinga's post, what he posted, what Raila Odinga posted after that meeting. This is what Raila Odinga posted. This morning at Capitol Hill Square, I held a discussion with a multi-sectoral working group on the 2/3 gender principle led by Gender CS Aisha Jumwa. There was widespread consensus that enhanced collaborative efforts are essential for fully realizing its implementation as intended. Now, that is what Raila Odinga posted. Let us go to what Aisha Jumwa posted so that you can understand the objective of this particular meeting. Let me just get Aisha Jumwa Facebook post. Aisha Jumwa, yeah. This is the verified page. Let me just get it. Now, this is what Aisha Jumwa posted. A bit long, but there are certain things I want us to pick from this post because they're going to form the basis of this analysis. I would like to thank ODM leader Raila Odinga for creating time to meet me and members of the multi-sectoral working group on the realization of not more than two-thirds gender principle at his capital office. This meeting came at a very critical moment because the input of the ODM leader in this discourse is key. So it means Aisha Jumwa realized that the input of Raila Odinga on this matter is key. While in an ordinary circumstance, most of Kenya Kwanza leaders would have assumed that Raila Odinga is just an ordinary person, just with his single vote. Let me just proceed. On the 9th December 2022, the president submitted a memorandum to the National Assembly or Parliament requesting it to consider a constitutional amendment to enact the not more than two-thirds gender principle. It is against this background and in the spirit of fully implementing the Constitution of Kenya 2010 on the two-thirds gender principle that the multi-sectoral working group comprising of state and unstate actors were established. Okay? In the discourse of executing its mandate, the multi-sectoral working group engaged the NADCO and submitted preliminary proposals for their consideration since the not more than two-thirds gender principle was one of the issues to be addressed. In its final report, NADCO recognized the mandate of the multi-sectoral working group and seeded the issue to be addressed comprehensively by the multi-sectoral working group and submit its report to Parliament for consideration and further action. The multi-sectoral working group has since fulfilled its mandate and developed a framework for implementation of the not more than two-thirds gender principle. The multi-sectoral working group has prepared a report detailing the considerations made in arriving at the proposed framework. However, listen to that. However, the consultations cannot be complete without the insight of the ODM leader, and that is why my team and I paid a courtesy call on his office today. Now that's Aisha Jumwa. If you read that post and you paid very close attention to what Aisha Jumwa is trying to say, Aisha Jumwa in short is just appreciating the role of Raila Amolo Odinga. So I want us to do a critical analysis about that meeting. Before we do that, in case you are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot do it. Ladies and gentlemen, why do you think Aisha Jumwa met with Raila Amolo Odinga? In politics, there's one very important element, the element of timing. Do you want to convince me that this meeting was planned just after Raila and Ruto met, or it was planned prior? In my considered opinion, this meeting was probably planned before. But the truth of the matter is that there is no way Aisha Jumwa can just walk to Raila Odinga's office without seeking clearance from none other than the President William Ruto. So I'm certain that Aisha Jumwa first of all sought for the approval. She was granted the approval and then proceeded with this meeting. But what was the objective? Number one, it is now clear that William Samoei Arap Ruto has clearly allowed the cabinet secretaries in his government to work with Raila Odinga. And I can assure you that meeting that took place between William Ruto and Raila Odinga in Mombasa in the presence of Obasanjo brokered a deal. And part of that deal, I've stated here before, was for Raila Odinga to recognize William Ruto as the President of the Republic of Kenya. Otherwise, in what capacity do you think Raila met Aisha Jumwa? Raila Odinga himself in his post, and that's why I told you to check that. That's why I read that post by Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga in that post alone is also very, very clear that the gender cabinet secretary, which means he recognized Aisha Jumwa as the cabinet secretary for gender. That is something that is now very clear, that William Ruto has allowed his cabinet secretaries, or government for that matter, to work with Raila. And clearly, Raila Odinga is also now recognizing them in their capacities as the cabinet secretary. And for the first time after that meeting in Uganda, Raila referred to William Ruto as President Ruto. Number two, Aisha Jumwa being a politician, because Aisha Jumwa was a councillor first. She was elected a member of parliament twice. She contested to become the governor and lost. And that's how she ended up being nominated to the cabinet. Aisha Jumwa probably must have read the signs on the wall. And the signs on the wall are very clear, that William Ruto and Raila Odinga have engaged themselves. And therefore, he should be. And therefore, as a politician, Aisha Jumwa wanted to be the first person, the first cabinet secretary, to officially meet with Raila Odinga after all these other things emerged. So Aisha Jumwa has read the signs. Number three, Ruto, as the President of the Republic of Kenya, also wanted to send a coded message to Kenyans, and to Kenya Kwanza in particular, through this meeting. The truth is, through this meeting, it is now clear that Raila and Ruto are working. It is also now clear that any cabinet secretary, any government official can go and consult Raila Amolo Odinga on any matter. That is only possible because William Ruto has allowed them. So it was a coded message to anybody who is still doubtful. Because if that were not the case, Aisha Jumwa would have received a warning. We'd be hearing Kenya Kwanza making noise in rallies. And lastly, it could also be political positioning. You see, camps are emerging. In Kenya Kwanza, we have camps. There's the Rigathi Gachagwa's camp, there's Ndindi Nyoro's camp, which is coming, then there's the William Ruto's camp. And of course, now in Kenya Kwanza, the truth is there are also those who are opposed to the handshake and those who are for the handshake. Aisha Jumwa is positioning herself on the side of Raila Odinga. Why? Because the side of Raila Odinga is controlling the coastal politics. Aisha Jumwa's ultimate goal is to become the governor, not the cabinet secretary. I don't know what you think. That's my take. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.